Hey guys, Mr. Carey here. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday. We're working on lesson 1-4, part 2, Introduction to Division. Now, again, like I said, I just want to reiterate the idea that don't worry. I know it's going a little fast. All we're doing today is we're just making groups and placing and splitting things up equally. It's not so much the amount of how many are in it. It's just understanding what division is and some basic strategies on how to solve it, okay? So don't worry so much about solving things, it's more on just how splitting things up, okay? So, I can divide, right? So what is division? Division is sharing equally. I have 12 things, there's 3 people, 4, 4, 4. Each one would get 4. So the big idea is just that you're splitting up equally, and you have to understand, like, that's when you would use division. If you know how many you have and you're splitting them up to a certain number of people, the answer is how many each person gets, okay? So this is how division works. The first number, say we're doing 10 divided by 2 is 5. 10, that's the total, okay? So I have 10 things. The second number, divided by 2, that's how many groups you're splitting it up to. So say I had 10 marbles and I'm splitting it into 2 groups. I would make 2 groups. How many go in each group? And that the answer is how many are in each group. So if I had 10 and I split it into 2 groups, I would have 5 in each group, okay? And so how do we solve this? Well, we're gonna solve this with something called a count by, which I'm gonna go over today again and just draw my board for you. Or also you could just solve it by skip counting by the number. So if I was doing 12 divided by 3, if I counted by 3s, 12 divided by 3, you could say like how many 3s are in 12, you just count by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12. And I know you don't know all your skip counts just yet, but that's how we're going to do this once we learn our skip counts, which we're going to be starting to get into later in the week. Or if I was doing 20 divided by 4, I could do it with a count by picture, or if I knew how to count by 4s, like how many 4s are in 20, I could just skip count by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. But that's for later, okay? So for now, our first skip counts that we're working by is 2s. So your goal this week, learn your 2s, learn your 5s by heart. You want to count by 2s to 24, you want to count by 5s to 60, and this will make your life so much easier. So I want to see you, or you should really just be practicing counting. Just count by 2s, use your fingers, and say, okay, I'm going to go 2s to 24. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. And that will bring you up to times 12, which is 24. And get faster. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. The faster you get, the easier this stuff is. And then when you're going by 5s, we're just going to go 5s, and our big number that we're going to stop at is 60. And some of you might think, well, I could go more than 60. That's cool, but you don't have to, not yet. So right now, just practice going by 5s to 60. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And use your fingers. Don't just count it in your head, because then you're going to lose track. So what we're doing in today's lesson is we're just splitting things up. We're gonna use something called a count by. So if you guys are at home today, you might want to grab an extra piece of paper or a whiteboard and a marker or something where you can do your work. So say I had to do 12, get a darker color than that. Say I was doing 12 and I was dividing it by 3. So what am I doing is I'm doing 12 and I'm splitting it into 3 groups. So what I do is I go, okay, 1, 2, 3 groups, and I'm going to put 12 into the 3 groups. So what you're doing is you're just counting out loud up to 12, almost like, think about it like you're dealing cards. You're just splitting them up equally. 1, 1, 1, 1, right? But so you just count up to 12. So you just go 1, 2, 3. Go back to the beginning. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 split into 3 groups would be 4 in each group. Okay, you just look at one group for the answer, and there's 4 in that group. Okay, or once you learn how to skip count, you're just going to go, how many 3s are in 12? 3, 6, 9, 12. 4 in each group. Okay, we do another one. Say I was doing 20 divided by 4, right? So I'm going up to, my total is 20, and I'm splitting it up into 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're just so we're just putting 1 in each until we get up to 20. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So then for my answer, 20 divided by 4 groups, there are, just look at 1, 5 in each group. 20 divided by 4 is 5, okay? So it makes sense to start with some smaller ones, and then we can get bigger, but it's easier once we learn our skip counts. Say I was doing 14 divided by 2, okay? Somebody told me in my class today, I have a smart little boy in my first group, and he said, Mr. Carey, did you know when you divide always by 2, it's just half of the big number? So if you know half of 14 is 7, you already know the answer to dividing by 2. Pretty cool. Neat trick. But if I was doing 14 and I was splitting it into 2 groups, right, I make my 2 groups, and I'm just counting up to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How many in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14 divided by 2 is 7. And this is just called a count by, okay? Let me do one last one before we go. Say I do, I don't know, 25 divided by 5, okay? So I'm doing 25 and splitting it into 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And so we're just keeping track like that. So we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then I just look at one group. And so 25 divided into 5 groups would be 5 in each group. Okay? So just understand, this is the total. This is the number of groups. And this is what we call the size of the group, or how many in each group. Okay? So if you're thinking about like you and your friends and you're splitting up some lollipops, the big number would be the total. The second number would be how many people are splitting them. And the big number, your answer would be how many lollipops each person gets, okay? I hope this is helpful. Before you do your lesson today, just grab a piece of paper, or if you have a whiteboard and marker at home, that'd be great. Just grab something to do these little circles in your count by on, and it'll make your lesson so much easier. Have a great day, guys.